Or loom and tensions escalate within the United States. Ivan Watson has more on this from Beijing for us. Ivan, this is the second wave of tit-for-tat tariffs being imposed between China and the United States. Can things only escalate from here?
It certainly looks like that's where things are going, from the start of a skirmish to possible all-out trade war. But let's be a little bit cautious, because what happened was that the Trump administration announced proposals to impose a 25% tariff on Tuesday for 1,300 Chinese goods, to the tune of about $50 billion worth of Chinese exports to the U.S. And now China's Ministry of Commerce has put out a statement that we're getting from Chinese state media saying that it's going to do tit for tat 106 U.S. products that would get a 25% tariff, and that the categories would include soybeans, automobile products, chemical products, and aircraft, which are big U.S. export sectors to China. But we haven't gotten, either from the U.S. side or the Chinese side yet, a date of when these tariffs would go into effect. Washington says that the 25% tariffs that are proposed still would have to undergo some kind of a discussion on May 15th with U.S. businesses. So it is clear that those tariffs have not yet gone into effect. So what it looks at this stage, it looks like these are so far threats coming between Washington and Beijing. Though earlier this week, there were tariffs imposed by the U.S. on some $3 billion worth of Chinese exports to the U.S., and China responded in kind, imposing tariffs, similar tariffs, on U.S. pork imports into China, on wine and fruits and nuts, and some steel components as well. So clearly Beijing is demonstrating that it will go toe-to-toe with the Trump administration if the U.S. imposes these tariffs on Chinese goods. Anna?
And Ivan, it's interesting, the products that have been named this time, soybeans, cars, for example, all things that will really hit Donald Trump's base support as well.
That's right. I mean, soybeans are a $14 billion business from the U.S. to China in 2016. So China is a huge export market for U.S. soybean producers. And I believe it's something like 8 out of the top 10 soy-producing states in the U.S. all voted for President Trump in 2016. So there may be some demographics that are being targeted by the Chinese when they choose economic sectors